So I had a conversation recently with my own son, and what's interesting is I'm going to challenge every parent in here. This is not a one and done. They don't need to know the anatomy and then you work on.
And then
So what you have to do is it's a constant, let me put it this way. You are way outgunned and way outdone with advertising from the world. The world is pressing in on them and reprogramming their brain every second of every day through music, advertisement, friends. So I'm constant in conversation with my son, and my wife with our daughters, and me with our daughters, where I'm always talking about the positives and the upsides and the joy of what's going on. Like recently, I was talking to my son. I said, you're going to be really having, you're going to start having strong affections. You're going to be like, wow, I think I really appreciate this person, and
I just want to be near her.
Right, and you're going to have you're going to have physical attraction. You're going to, just like your dad. I think your mom is gorgeous.
Right.
I like to be around her. And I said, Titus, I like to show myself a physical affection towards your mom because one, I want her to know that I really care about her. I said, you're going to want that, and that's good. What I want you to learn how to do is to prepare your heart and your mind to not only do it in a way where God's being glorified, because you're going to enjoy it the right way. And let me put it this way. You're actually going to enjoy it versus you fulfilling a temporary satisfaction that leads to guilt and shame.
I was going to say, and the shame piece, the guilt is real, but the shame piece is so significant. And if people will say that when we'll make the statement that no sin is private, people will push back and say, well, what if it's just me by myself?
My thoughts.
And my thoughts. And I'm just kind of toying with the cravings I have. And it's just me. It's not hurting anybody else.
Yeah.
You're a fool if you think that.
That's right.
You are a fool because of this guilt and shame reality and the ways that you are, let's use some biblical language. I mean, you are feeding that monster of your flesh,
You mean to tell me you're not going to treat them differently?
Exactly. That's significant. But then you will, in particular, if you're a believer, even if you're not, because you were made in God's image and his law is written on your heart, your conscience will be wrecked.
That's right.
You will be riddled with guilt and you will be riddled with shame when it comes to this aspect of your life. So do not for 1 second think that you can toy with your cravings and your passions by yourself and it will not affect other people. It will.
It will.
It will.
Yeah. I will speak into this as well. I think this is why we do have an epidemic in the church when it comes to people struggling with what they watch. It's like, Justin, you and I both have to counsel men and women, and I would say women too, men and women.
That's right. It's not a male-only issue.
No. And when sexuality becomes purely appetite fulfillment, right, where we are just satisfying the desires of our flesh, well, that makes it super easy to do that. And my spouse isn't doing it for me. And like that's just a whole reprogramming of life.
Reprogramming of mind, because now it becomes transactional. It's about my gratification. And then I end up resenting my spouse because my spouse is not meeting my expectations.
That's right.
It's just, it's a death spiral.
Thank you for listening. Today's reminder is from a recent Theocast episode hosted by John Moffitt and Justin Perdue. Everyday Grace is a listener-supported podcast. If you would like to help support our ministry, please visit theocast.org/give.